This is Viterbi Voices, your chance to hear stories about research, classes, student life, and more.
Directly from our students, faculty, and other members of our engineering community. All right here at the USC Viterbi School of Engineering.
Welcome back into Viterbi Voices. As usual, I'm one of your co-hosts. My name is Paul Ledesma, Director of Undergraduate Admission here at the USC Viterbi School of Engineering.
And my name is Audrey Roberts. I'm a senior studying mechanical engineering here at USC.
And joining us is a new voice to the podcast. Introduce yourself.
Hi all, my name is Natalie. I'm a current second-year student studying civil engineering, and I'm recording from San Diego, California.
All right, very cool. Natalie, welcome to the podcast. It's your first time on the podcast, correct?
Yeah, this is.
All right. So what did you expect in this world of podcasting? Are you now going to be a superstar? Is that what's happening?
I do expect a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame pretty soon.
Awesome. So what is this episode you bring to us today?
Yeah, so I got the chance to interview a couple of members from USC's Theta Tau. For those who don't know, Theta Tau is a professional engineering society. They are co-ed, and they focus on helping engineers and even a couple students outside of engineering build their resumes, their social skills, their volunteering.
And who did you talk to in this episode?
I got to talk to 3 people. So that would be Josh Solomon, Cami Simpson, and Alayne Morel.
All right, very cool. Well, let's get out of the way and give it over to you and these 3 fine young students to talk about Theta Tau at USC.
Hey everyone, so today I'm joined by 3 Theta Tau members, and for those of you who don't know, Theta Tau is an engineering fraternity at USC, and so the 3 people I'm joined with is Cami, Josh, Alayne, and here you can go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi guys, I'm Cami. I'm a junior studying industrial and systems engineering on the operations track. And I am currently on e-board for Theta Tau, so I'm something called corresponding secretary. So that's been pretty cool.
What's up guys, I'm Josh. I'm a junior studying electrical and computer engineering at USC. And I am a member of Theta Tau currently, but I was the recruitment chair for Theta Tau.
What's up, guys? I'm Alayne. I'm a sophomore studying biomedical engineering on the pre-med track because I'm stupid. And I am currently a risk management / fundraising chair for Theta Tau, even though with the, slow semester, we haven't been doing a ton of fundraising. So yeah, that's me.
Well, thank you guys for joining us today. Let's start off with just a general question is, what are kind of the goals of your organization? So what do you guys hope to achieve, and what do you guys want to bring to USC?
Yeah, so USC is, Theta Tau is USC's only co-ed professional engineering society. So that's been pretty awesome. We have all sorts of people in our org. We even have non-engineers in our org. We currently have a Q-Bio major, which is a recent change that we did to our policy. So we want to accept everyone. But yeah, so basically the rundown is we have 3 pillars, professional, service, and social. So each pillar, we have different sorts of events. For professional, for example, we would have like a resume workshop or mock interviews with real recruiters. Or even this semester, we did a panel for freshmen kind of going through the process, kind of talking about resumes and cover letters and all that stuff, like how to apply to jobs. So that's been very helpful. We also have service, and I was actually service chair last year. And basically we just throw in events for the community, and we also partner with other organizations at USC to throw service events. And lastly, we have social, so that's pretty basic. We have movie nights, we hang out, we tailgate together. Yeah, we're all good friends, so that's been pretty fun.
I would say Cami hit the nail on the head there with all of our stuff.
It's just to have everyone to come together under one common interest, and you meet a lot of friends in Viterbi, and you also just develop as an engineer and as a person. So
Yeah, I'd say it's so helpful having just this core group of friends within Viterbi. I think it's been really helpful. I actually have not. I probably wouldn't have switched my major if it weren't for one of my friends who was an upperclassman in ISE. So I actually came in as BME. Alayne, I feel your pain. And I didn't even know ISE was a thing until I came in, and my what's it called? My new member educator was an upperclassman in ISC, and he told me a little more about his major. And that was really helpful for me to learn more about that and to later end up switching my major. And I'm very glad that I did.
It sounds like you guys have a lot of like your toes dipped in different pools, trying to get yourselves involved in every type of community at USC. Sounds really cool. So like personally, what made you guys want to join? Because I know that like without going to these rush events, you're not exactly sure what the organization stands for. So what was the first thing that kind of drew you to it?
Yeah. So I actually did not see Theta Tau or hear about Theta Tau until one of my friends, my freshman year, she came up the elevator and she went directly to my room in Mark's Tower. She's like, and she opened the door. She's like, Cami. I was like, yeah. She was like, you should join Theta Tau with me. And I was like, okay, sounds good. So then we ended up going to all the rush events together. Her name's Alyssa, by the way. And we applied, we interviewed, we got in. And so we're both in the same new member class, which was really fun going through that process. So yeah, one of my friends kind of encouraged me to do it. And after I got to know Theta Tau a little more, it turned out to be something that I was really interested in. So when I was in high school, I was definitely the type of person to join everything and take my plate and fill it with all sorts of things. And it wasn't necessarily the most healthy lifestyle because I'm the type of person to like put 110% into whatever I'm doing. So when I came to college, I really wanted to find like one or two organizations that I would just put my heart and soul into it. And so Theta Tau turned out to be a really good opportunity for me to get involved with all aspects of college. So there's the social aspect, which has been great. Some of my closest friends are in Theta Tau. And then for professional, it's really helped me in my career and just helped me understand a lot more about engineering. And then service, it's a great opportunity for me to continue my service efforts and get involved with the community. So for me personally, I think it's been just a really good place to do it all at USC. And that's something that I've really enjoyed.
Yeah, I know for me, the big thing was my freshman year. I got to USC and I'm from Pennsylvania, so it was pretty far for me. And I didn't know anybody out in Los Angeles, like most of my family was 2,000 miles away. So a big thing for me was that social aspect, like, kind of building relationships, making friends. So fall semester, freshman year, I joined, I got recruited, I made it through the new member process. And I joined, and it was so awesome that very first day you kind of stepped into the organization and you automatically had, 50 or 60 new friends and new people that you knew you could rely on for the next 4 years. And then even beyond that, when you're out in like the professional world, we have members like alums who live together now, or, like are rooming together while they're at jobs in the professional world. So that social aspect, the building those connections was really important for me. That's why I joined.
yeah, I don't exactly know how I got interested. I think I was honestly just kind of shooting my shot with as many like orgs as I could at that point. And if y'all are in like freshman engineer, you have like your engineering coaches, and Josh was actually my coach. And I remember him talking about it and raving about it. So I was like, all right, well, like, seems like a good idea. And then at the time, like we had a couple of our members like going to classrooms, like for engineering classes, like, hey, we're Theta Tau, come rush with us. So I was like, all right, we'll see how this goes. And like the first like meeting or so when we were like kind of talking and trying to get to know people a little bit better, I think one of the very first conversations I had was I just immediately started arguing with Joe. And he was an older member. I think we were asking would you rather questions, and I was like, okay, would you rather that cats are the size of spiders or spiders the size of cats? And he was just like, spiders the size of cats, that sounds awful. And so I was like, well, no, but they wouldn't get into your house as easily. So it became a whole debate. A couple of other members joined. It was a conversation. So that for me was really fun. And I think I knew then that I could have fun in this org. And just to be able to have like older BMEs that I knew to help me like decide what to do, because you can do a lot of stuff with BME. Like you can do like 3 different emphases or no emphasis, or you could be pre-med, like, or you could do something else. Like and I really didn't know how to like balance the pre-med work with like a chemical emphasis. And so like at one event we had, like, there's an alum there who 2 alums who were both BME, and one of them was pre-med and one of them wasn't, and they both just kind of gave me like their sides of the story, and gave me some advice as to what to do if, you know, I continued on one path or another. And it was advice that I hadn't really like gotten to hear before either. Like I'd asked my counselors about this already, you know, and they were just kind of like, yeah, good luck. But this is kind of like an insider's view of someone who had already been through the process. So that was really nice to have.
So it sounds like Rush is what brought a lot of you guys together and like got you really interested in it. So do you guys want to speak a little bit on what Rush looks like and how you guys plan to like keep your Rushies like engaged?
Yeah, I can take this one. So I was the recruitment logistics chair. So I like handle like Rush, which is just our name for recruitment process. Generally, we call it recruitment now because of updated university verbiage. But yeah, the process is pretty similar to how a lot of orgs do it. It's a kind of a mix of how some social frats handle their recruitment processes, but then it's a lot more heavily like how some orgs at USC handle it. So we host about 7 or 8 events over the course of 2 weeks. And they're about 2 hours. We supply food, we supply activities. And then we have our members come, we have a bunch of potential new members come, so people applying. And we just try to encourage, you know, building relationships, developing conversations to make sure like everybody gets involved, everybody meets everybody. And those are really important that, you know, you attend as many of those because we want everybody to try to like talk to everyone else, make all these connections. So we have those 7 or 8 events over the course of 2 weeks. And then we ask you to apply through an online portal. And then we have you, read all the applications, and we have you come and do an interview, a professional style interview, because the professional aspect of our org is very important to us. And in that interview, you'll talk to 3 of our members. You'll just sit down. It's like a pretty basic behavioral interview. And we talk about what you're interested in, you know, what you've done before, why you are interested in our org, things like that. And then we go back, we make our decisions, and then we'll send out letters maybe the Friday or Saturday after that interview. And over the whole thing takes about 2 weeks. It's pretty relaxed, pretty fun, I think. We have good food. We do a barbecue. It's pretty hyped. But yeah.
I bet the food's good, a good draw for everyone to come.
Yeah. I miss the food. The Hawaiian barbecue.
Yeah, it's so good.
Most of your events seem like they were taking place in person, and not just like your recruitment events, but also just like once you're already within the organization. So how are you guys kind of dealing with like the virtual setting?
Yeah, it's been really interesting. Having it virtual kind of gives us this new opportunity to try and have it as open as possible to everyone, because it's easy to just like send out a Zoom link and have a ton of people come. So yes, all of our events have moved virtual. I think like something like 50% of our org is at home right now. I could be wrong. I think that's about how many people. But yeah, not all of us are on campus. And of course we want to stay safe and healthy. So we're not going to have like our entire org meeting. So yeah, all of our meetings have been taking place over Zoom. And all of our events have moved online. We've also decreased the number of events that we have to go to for people just to kind of lighten the load. We know it's really stressful. So we wanted to continue the semester as normally as possible, but also just try and make it as least stressful as possible. And so we decided not to do recruiting this semester, just because we didn't have enough time to kind of figure out the virtual setting, and we wanted to make sure that if we were going to do it, like it was going to be very planned out, but we still wanted to meet all the freshmen and kind of give an opportunity to get to know them and have them get to know each other, because we know that it must be so difficult as a freshman to go through this, like their very first semester online. So we've tried to have our events quite open. We invite a lot of people to them. We keep it open for others to come to it. So for example, we had a panel. Sorry, I'm trying to remember. We had a panel where we talked about like building your resume and recruitment, interviews, cover letters, that sort of thing, and just internship advice, specifically geared towards freshmen. So we invited a lot of freshmen to come listen, but it wasn't closed off to them or to anyone else. Like it was open to everyone. But yeah, we just wanted to get a chance to get to know everyone and have them get to know us so that we can prepare for probably a virtual recruitment next semester. But yeah, we've been doing our best. Oh, and we also did an event with Facebook for like a diversity inclusivity event, which was really, really awesome. And we did that recently and had it open to everyone in Viterbi, and that was really awesome. Yeah, did I miss anything?
Yeah, we've even been doing like we did like a game night this weekend, like this past weekend. So that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that, and I think like the virtual social stuff has been like the biggest help for me, especially since I'm like so far away from everybody. So we've been trying to do like we adapt all of our events to virtual learning. But it's been cool.
We had a trivia night. That was fun. Where we did like trivia from everyone's hometowns, which I don't think any of us really knew a lot of the answers, but it was just fun to go through them. And I learned a lot about everyone's hometown, which was really fun. And we have an Among Us night coming up too. So yeah.
I mean, like you wouldn't expect like everything being virtual to be in any way like enjoyable, but it's honestly like the game nights have proven me wrong, and just like the online events like actually are kind of low stress for me, because I can just kind of log on. I don't have to worry about like getting anywhere, and yeah, I'd say that like even if we have to do like our new member like process like all virtual, I wouldn't be like afraid of doing that, because it's proven to be like not that bad. And like even this morning we had like a general meeting, and before we started the general meeting we had like a color by number on the screen share, and so people were highlighting it. It was very relaxing. It was fun to watch. So there's like little ways that we've made it fun or less boring than it usually is. And even when we had like our virtual involvement fair, I did a shift for that, and just talking to some freshmen or just people looking to maybe join our org was actually pretty fun. It was fun to meet new people still, even with a different setting. So.
All right, so for these game nights, which one of the three of you guys is the best at winning?
No contest right here.
And the game night this week, I just spectated. But I know the trivia night, I definitely was like second to last place.
I missed the trivia night.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun, but just stuff that I would not have known. So I guess things vary incorrectly. There were a lot of sports questions too, and I just do not. Yeah. Unfortunately, I do not know those things.
Because Christian and Ash made it, so of course it had something to do with sports. I'm sorry. I don't know any of this.
Oh man, I should have went. I would have crushed that. See, I'm competitive, so I would have been all over that. I forget where I was that weekend. I think it was one of my family members' birthday, but.
So you guys sound like you make like a lot of close friendships that kind of last past graduation. Has there been an instance where like the connections you made within the fraternity have helped you professionally, like in the like real industry?
Yes. One of my friends is I know a few ISC older alumni people, and they've really helped me kind of understand like, oh, do I want to do PDP? Am I going to get my master's in business? like what company should I work for. So one of my friends currently works at Honeywell and he's a recruiter for them. So he's been helping me out a lot with the process. And then one of my closest friends, her name is Julia. She is currently in school right now. And so she's in my year. So she's not like an older member or anything, but she recently got a job at a company that I'm really, really interested in. So she's been helping me kind of throughout the interview process, like giving me tips and tricks, because if I didn't know anyone who went through that process, I probably would not have been as prepared as I was. So that's been a huge help as well. But yeah, it's just so helpful, like being able to, I had a really bizarre question one time from like a recruiter for some company. And I just took a quick screenshot and I sent it in our Slack and I was like, hey, does anyone know how I'm going to respond to this? Like, what do I say? And immediately 5 people had advice to give me. And then I was thrown into a group chat with a ton of alumni being like, okay, what should she do? And they all helped me out too. So that has been so, so helpful.
Yeah, honestly, like the help within, not even like from older members, although that happens too, where older members will send you like recruiting notices or hook you up with like recruiters of their company or something like that. But just even like within the org, people who are your own age or maybe a year ahead of you, we have like channels where people can offer if they see a job listing that they think like other people probably haven't heard about yet, they'll toss that in like a Slack channel so that like all 50 of our members are like some of the first people to see the job listing. Or if a recruiter gives them a heads up about something professionally, they can send that to the rest of us. And we're one of the first people at USC to hear about that. So that's extremely helpful. And I've found that for me, because we don't have too many upperclassmen electrical engineers, which is what I am. So the job listings and stuff like that for me has been huge. It's helped me a lot professionally.
Yeah, I know like one of the first professional events I did within Theta Tau was like a resume workshop. And like that's one thing that we do is we just, we give you like a mentor who's like an older, um, I guess like an upperclassman, like in your same major. So I was working with Alice and she just like completely changed my resume, but it was all for the better. And I remember like I was really proud to show that off during the like most recent like Viterbi career expo, and I ended up talking with like this Medtronic representative for like 20 minutes, and that was really cool. And even like when I was talking about earlier having met like the 2 BME alumni at one of our first events, it was really nice because I like to be pre-med and engineering is kind of tough apparently. And I didn't know if I was going to stick with it. And I know that like having an emphasis could potentially like increase the workload, but I didn't know if it was a good idea to still keep it, like, because it would look good on my, application to med school or whatever. And one of the BMEs, I think it was Nash, he was like, hey, like having the added requirements of like a chemical emphasis is going to be like really annoying to have. What you do is you like get rid of it, but then you still take the technical electives that you're still interested in. So it was kind of a hack, if that makes sense. And it really helped me because otherwise I wouldn't have thought of like a solution like that. And I probably just would have tormented myself with like unnecessary technical electives. And so he was like, hey, I'm applying to med school like as we speak. Here's my number. Please text me if you have any more questions about this process. And I have, and I will again. And like there's another BME there. He's like, oh, like I definitely wasn't pre-med, would never do that. And I was like, yeah, I get that. And he was like, but I'm currently working at Medtronic. Like, if you decide later you want to give up this pre-med emphasis and just work in the industry, like, let me know and I can coach you through the process of getting a job in the industry or, possibly even at Medtronic. Like, let me know if you want an interview. And so that was just like incredible to me. Like that immediate, like potential job connection. So it's definitely, I'd say the professional aspect of Theta Tau is one of its like strongest points.
Yeah, I can definitely confidently say that everything I know ever about professional stuff and career stuff has definitely come from Theta Tau. Like I'm so thankful for it. And one of my friends right now who is a senior going through that intense job process, he unfortunately didn't get the chance to join any professional org like Theta Tau. And he also wasn't here for freshman academy, so he really did not know how to go about the process. So I've been helping him a bit, and so I don't know, it just kind of shows like it is really, really helpful being a part of this org. And I've learned so much from it.
And Alayne, I know you just mentioned that you were a new member. So what was it kind of like finishing your initiation virtually and also like creating these connections virtually as well, since you didn't have like the year or two that Josh and Cami had to meet everyone in person?
I'd say like I definitely kind of had a head start because I was there for like, up until March. And by then we'd already gone through most of our process. But to finish it out was initially like really daunting. But I know one thing that we do, like once you like or start going through the new member process, is you do interviews where you do like a one-on-one kind of conversation, just about an hour long with like each of the active members. So that way, like you're kind of forced to know everyone. And, that way, honestly, it kind of like eliminates like any possibility of cliques, which I didn't know could be possible, but it is. And it's really cool because I can just like roll up and start talking with any of the active members, or just text them whenever. And so to finish that was daunting. I did kind of like some Zoom interviews, and sometimes we play games or we just talk about school. It's nice to have a break from all that. So it obviously doesn't compare to anything in person, but it's definitely not the worst thing ever. Like, if we had like gone out to get coffee and like sat at a table just talking, like it is like basically the same thing to do it virtually. I know like for some of my interviews, we just made coffee in our homes and like pretended we were sitting together like outside at a cafe or something. So I'd say like if like anyone like becomes like a new member, like going forwards, it'll look a lot similar to that. And I still had fun. So I'd say like, the center, like the focal point of this org is like the connections you make with people. And because that definitely hasn't gone away, then it'll still be really, really worth it.
Fake coffee should be like a book written about this pandemic. It seems like everyone has to do that now. Just pretend you're on a coffee date over Zoom.
Yeah, like your Zoom background, like a little French cafe or something like that. Emily in Paris type beat. So
exactly.
I love that.
So do you guys kind of want to go and like look back, reminisce on some of your favorite memories in Theta Tau? So like this could be something that was really inspirational, like a breakthrough that someone in the org helped you with, or just something really funny that you want to share.
I know. I have like one or two. One of the big ones, like for me, I said I didn't know too many people in Los Angeles when I got to California for going to school. So that fall semester, I had, I want to say like 3 or 4 people within the first like maybe month that I felt really comfortable around, felt like I could talk to. But beyond that, I didn't really have anyone. And when those 3 or 4 people were doing stuff, I was kind of just like alone in my room. So joining Theta Tau, after about the first week, I went, as Alayne was saying, we do those one-on-ones with active members. And so I had a one-on-one with this kid named Patrick, and we became really close friends. He was a senior at the time, but we became really close friends, and he really helped me get through that freshman year, which was really helpful for me. So that was a big connection that I was very happy I made, and I think it really helped me get through a tough freshman year at USC. And then another thing that happened that same semester is we go on a retreat every semester. We either go camping or to an Airbnb. And if you ask basically any member, they'll tell you, like, they'll say something about a retreat generally, what their favorite memory is. But for me, that first semester, we went camping up in the mountains of Ojai, California. And we went on like a real hike, which I didn't go too much of. I didn't do too much of those back home with my friends. But I really enjoyed that. It was like, I think there were 5 or 6 of us who went on this like other alternate hike. And I really enjoyed that. And I felt much closer with the people who I was on the hike with. And I felt like I really developed those connections. So, and I've never seen that many stars before either. Like I looked up and it was like the whole sky. It was insane. But yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Especially compared to LA, I bet those were a lot of stars you got to see.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite memories is also retreat. It was the retreat from it's been a year. Yeah, it's been a year. And we went to, yeah, it was the fall, so we do camping in the fall. And we camped in Malibu, and it was so gorgeous. I've never seen so many stars. And I love camping, and to do that with all my friends, it was so fun. Um, and some of them don't really like camping, so it's really funny to like that dynamic is kind of funny. But yeah, it was awesome. We went on a little hike, like we spent time at the beach, we played some spike ball. It was just a weekend where we were disconnected, like not a lot of service. I just turned off my phone and had a really great time with all my brothers. So yeah, that was a really good memory. I had another one. What was it? I really like Big Little stuff. Anything Big Little. So my little's Judy. Shout out to her if she happens to listen to this. Um, but we do a few like Big Little ceremonial things, and that's always really fun. Like getting to paint her poster and her letters and getting her gifts and writing her clues and stuff. So yeah, I really enjoy that. I don't know if we mentioned that before, but in the org you get a big, and eventually down the line you might get a little. So yeah, that's one of my favorite memories.
Unfortunately, we all got sent home because of the pandemic. So I didn't get to go on a retreat, which is really, really sad. But I will say that even without the famous retreat, I still had a really good time. Um, just like the ability to like, type something into Slack, or like I know like my particular new member class had like a Snapchat like group chat where it'd be like, hey, like anybody like down to hang out on the village green for a while, something like that. Just the ability to send something out and then hang out with someone in an afternoon was really cool to have. And it was really nice to be able to just make plans and get to know people. And one of the things we did, actually, I just remembered this, was we kind of had like this scavenger hunt type of day where they gave us like a list of things to do, and each one of them was like worth a certain amount of points, and so you had to do them and get it on video. And it wasn't anything illegal. Oh my god, I promise it's not illegal. But I just remember like I was paired with like two other people who I didn't really know. It was Akash and Alayne. And like after that, like we were pretty close, considering Akash and I ended up like scream singing the Canadian national anthem on the Santa Monica Pier. And I ended up like chasing a pigeon. A lot of stuff conspired, but it was, not harmful and not illegal. But it was really fun to do. Because when you embarrass yourself with someone you don't know super well, turns out you get to know them. And then, like Cami said, like Big Little stuff, it was really nice to like get all these gifts. And my big got me like just this packet of like sticky mustaches. And like one, only she would do that. And two, like one of them is on my coffee maker as we speak. And like the whole like Big Little event where we went out to dinner and stuff like that. And you have like this whole like Big Little like family. That was really cool. And it was like a family within a family. So that was a lot of fun.
That actually reminds me of, do you guys remember, I'm pretty sure it happened right before COVID sent us all home. But like one of the things that I love about Theta Tau is, so we have the Slack channel, and we have this random channel in the Slack channel or whatever. And so if someone's like on the lawn, like the village lawn, playing spike ball, or our friend Nick just got a volleyball net and he was like, hey, like who wants to play volleyball? Do you guys remember that? Yeah. And so we all we all went out and like played some volleyball, and people were busy at different times of the day, so we were just like all there like throughout the whole entire day, and like people dropped by and like left and came again. But I remember I had to do a homework. I was sitting at a table right next to it, like vigorously trying to finish it. And like people were like, come play, Cami. And I was like, I can't, I gotta do my homework. And so a couple of my friends sat there and helped me do my homework. They're like, go, go, go. And I boarded and I turned in my physics homework and I came back and I played some volleyball. It was so fun. But yeah, that's probably one of the things I miss the most, is just like the random unplanned hangouts where we're just like, hey, we're right here. Come swing by if you have the chance, and you just go and you hang out. So it's fun.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. Another big thing that I thought about was Freshman year. So my roommate was in the band freshman year, and he still is. Shout out to Remy if he watches this. And so he couldn't like come to the football games with me. And I love football, so I was really excited to go, but I didn't know who to go with because I was like, I don't know who I'm going to go to these football games with. Like the first weekend I was there, I went with one of my roommates, Tynan, who's actually in the org now. But I wasn't sure who I was going to go with the whole season because I didn't know if he was able to go the whole season. But then when I got to Theta Tau, like the very first day that I was hanging out with the Theta Tau people on a game day, a whole group of them just like got up and left to go to the game. And they were like, "Are you coming to the game?" And I was like, "Heck yeah, like this is awesome."
So cute.
Like 15 of us walking over. I was like, "This is so fun." Like I have people to go to the game with, like, you know, I'm never going to have to go to the game alone. So that was so big for me. I was so excited about that. So we do a game day, like walk to the stadium.
That is nice.
Yeah, we love football. Didn't we? What was it that we did? We put a TV in the backyard. Did we watch a game?
The Super Bowl?
Oh, we watched the
Yeah,
Super Bowl.
we did a
Yeah,
Super Bowl party. Yeah.
that was fun.
So you guys had a Super Bowl party in the backyard. So you guys also have like a house that you all gather to?
Oh yes, we have a house. Mhm.
We should have specified that. Yeah, we do have a house. Sometimes the house changes because we our members rent a house. But we always try to get a property where we can like congregate and do some of our events. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not now, obviously. We're being very safe.
Yeah.
COVID friendly or COVID.
No congregating.
Yeah, no congregating. But yeah, I always forget to mention that. And when I like do the spiel or whatever about Theta Tau, I forget to mention that we have a house. And I also forget to mention like retreat and Big Little and stuff. So yeah, by the way, everyone, we
Yeah,
have a
all the
house
big
and we do that
things.
stuff. Yeah. Oh, and we have formal, or what's it called?
Invite.
We do invite. Yeah, I
I've been
forget
out
about
of college
invite
for
too.
so long.
Bop. Invite is such a bop.
Yeah,
Invite is
we get dressed up, you know, do as the college students do, get dressed up, go to a venue. And sometimes we vote at the beginning of the semester if we want to dress up and like have it be like a dressy thing. Or if we wanted to be goofy, we would have like a theme. So I think the last theme we had was like alien or space.
Yeah, I think for fall last year, I think it was, we did space and we went to like Dave and Buster's, I think.
That was
which
fun.
was hyped.
I met a famous person.
So make note that if you ever want to meet a movie star, go to Dave and Buster's, is what I'm hearing.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
Well, it was on whatever that road with the stars, the Hollywood
Yeah, it
stars.
was on like what is that? Wow, Hollywood Boulevard.
Hollywood
yeah.
Boulevard?
It has it
Is
in the
that what
name,
it
guys.
is? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Guys, I haven't been in Los Angeles for like 8-9 months, so
Yeah, that is tough.
I don't even know what it looks like anymore.
Oh, no.
Anyway,
This conversation is taking a turn. Let's go. Let's go for questions.
reel it in.
Oh God.
All right. So I heard a little bit that you guys kind of have like a family tree thing going on within. So how did that like come to be? And what is that like? Do you guys have like family feuds? What's up with that?
Yeah. So we do kind of like a big little thing. We call it hammer and tong because we're engineers. But it's kind of like having like it's kind of like having like a life mentor. We do professional mentors where their main goal is to help you like professionally, how to interact professionally, stuff like that. But this is more of like a life mentor, somebody who can guide you through like things that aren't always like as black and white as some professional stuff is. And that can be super helpful. So my big is Rob. He's a civil engineer, so he's like not even in my style of engineering. But we get along really well, and we hang out outside of like Theta Tau events and stuff like that. And he's just like an older member of the org. And so that can be super helpful. And we do like pairings, and it's kind of like a complicated process, honestly, to like pair everybody up. But we use math and stuff to figure it out, how to like pair
We're
people
engineers.
up.
We use math.
What, like a weighted
Yeah.
decision matrix?
Yeah, like a weighted decision. It's something crazy. I don't know. They don't let me touch it. I'm not good at math, but
Yeah, I think the only people who
KEE.
know about it are the new member educators, right?
Yeah. I think they handle it themselves, like internally, to make sure that everybody gets paired fairly.
Even
Um,
eBoard doesn't like see that stuff. So
yeah.
top
It's a
secret.
lot of fun.
So fun. Yeah, my big is Noah. He is computer science games. So like very far away from what I'm doing. But yeah.
So like, Cami, you mentioned earlier that Judy's your little. So would Noah be like Judy's grandpa?
Yes.
Yeah, so Judy
That's
is my
exactly how it
little.
works.
So I'm her big, and then Noah would be her grand big. And then Justin is my grand big. So Justin is Judy's great grand big. We had this, this was a very lovely memory. We had this one event. Was it a tailgate maybe? I don't know.
Awesome.
But it was like alumni day, or all the alumni came back, not all of them, but those who could. So we got to meet a lot of people from the past, which was super fun. And that's when I got to meet like my great grand big.
Yeah, it's really cool. You get they get you gifts and stuff too. Like your big gets you gifts when you get
Snacks.
like chosen. Oh, the snacks. The snacks are huge. Yeah.
Very
But
important.
that's pretty cool. You get any cool snacks, Alayne?
I got Cricket got me like grapes, which is nice because I probably needed fruit. And then like she got me these really fancy lemonades that I just had stocked up for the longest time because I was like afraid to drink them, like unless it wasn't a special occasion. Is very involved. She made me a really bomb like poster that's like Captain Marvel themed and everything that I still have. And the letters she painted me are like this cool like design with koi fish. I don't know how she did it. It was very intricate.
It was really pretty.
It was funny because as soon as I saw the poster, I was like, oh, I know who this is. And then like she heard that like I like kind of knew. And so then she got like other members to text me and be like, are you sure you know who your big is? And they really tried to gaslight me into like tricking me into thinking it wasn't her. But I was like, and I was unsure for like only a split second. But then I was like, no. I know who it is. I'm just too good.
Do you guys have like family tree names? Like, do you guys have like a surname that you all share?
We
We
do.
do.
Are we allowed to share that? I have no idea. I should know, but I don't.
There's 4 of them, right? Though.
Yeah, there's 4 of them. I don't know if we share. I know we've changed them in the past couple years. Yeah. We've been changing it up, obviously, because like some families don't take new littles, so like the numbers get out of whack and it becomes hard to coordinate events like logistically. So we'll alter them every couple years, and there are parts of it we keep like semi-secret, just so it's like more fun when you find out. But I don't think there's an issue if we tell you like the old names. Like we had one that was just called Memes, like a meme family.
My current family is descendant from that, so that's cool.
Yeah, we have we'll track the lineage. We did like
that's my bloodline.
One of them was just called like Family 4 because they were the 4th family created.
One was Dang Dynasty because Eric Dang is the guy that founded Theta Tau. We're actually a relatively new organization. I think we only actually became a quote fraternity. Now USC, hear this, now we're a society, but we used to be a fraternity. That is a fact. And Eric Dang founded it with his like engineering friends in 2015, I think. Mm-hmm. So it's actually not too far back, which is why it's pretty cool getting to meet the alumni because they were there when it like was founded and stuff. But yeah, I think the names are kind of like a little bit based off of them as well because they were the first ones to have littles and start the whole tree.
That sounds so cool, being part of like a little engineering family.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about like social, professional. Now, what about like service? What kind of like service events do you guys hold?
Yeah, so service events, those were really fun. Last semester, we didn't get to do too much before we all got sent home, but I'll just say some examples of stuff that we've done. So this one time we went to a local garden and they grow like veggies and fruits and stuff and plants to give to the community so that people have like fresh produce and good healthy food to eat. But that was really cool. Alayne, you were there, I think. Yeah,
It
yeah,
was.
yeah.
It was a
That
good
was fun.
time.
I grew some kale. It was really awesome, and other foods, but I forget what the other ones were. But like, this guy gave me some seeds, and I just had to like throw them places. It was so fun.
Vastly different experience. I think Max and I were moving like really sketchy like plywood. They're like, yeah, there's either really big spiders or like snakes in there or something, but like
I
we need you
remember
to like
that.
move this to the shed. And we were like, okay.
I remember you guys because you guys kept walking past me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny. It was an interesting experience. I got really into it. I left that experience thinking I was gonna get a plant, but or I did. It didn't really survive. Actually, you know what? It's probably rotting in Cardinal Gardens right now. Um, I hope my packer guy didn't pack it in the boxes with the rest of my stuff. I'm very off topic, sorry. So we worked in a garden. We also do a lot of like joint events. So we help out SWE with their panels. We help out Freshman Academy with their panels. We've been doing a lot of joint events with Scout this semester too. Another thing we used to do is we used to help out with Kicks for Kids, which is a really, really great, fun organization at USC, which every Sunday you go hang out with a ton of kids, and you kick some soccer balls, but also they're like hula hoops and stuff, so you're not just kicking things. Yeah. And then the semester before that, we unfortunately weren't able to have our own events, but we still did like a lot of joint events. But one of my personal favorite events that we did as service or in our service thing was an event that I got to plan. So I'm definitely biased. But it was my new member semester, and each semester the new members kind of plan an event for each pillar. So I was in charge of the service event. And so I don't know if you guys have heard of that legend or tradition where in Japanese culture where if you fold 1,000 origami cranes, it means good luck. There's a book about it too. I forget if it started as a book or it was already there, but yeah, that's something that my mom and I have done a lot growing up, like folding 1,000 cranes for those of us or our loved ones who are getting married or who might be struggling fighting cancer. But yeah, it's like kind of a nice good luck gesture. So what we ended up doing was we got together as an org and we folded 1,000 cranes. We turned it into like kind of a competition between the families. So that was pretty fun. And then we strung them all together and we donated it to the Cancer Research Center at USC. And so they have it in their little lobby right now, kind of hanging up. But that was one of my favorite events because it had a lot of significance to me personally. It had a lot of significance to one of our members because her mom went through treatment there. And also like it had a lot of cultural significance. So we all got to kind of learn more about Japanese culture and then also learn more about how to fold cranes. So everyone gained a skill from that experience. I had a really good time.
That sounds really nice. And maybe one day we'll see it.
Yeah, I was planning on doing a bigger event with like the whole school. But then, well, yeah, re-recognition happened. So and then after that, COVID happened. So, we just have, the world needs to be a little nicer right now.
Needs to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so now that we kind of know a little more about each of the pillars, which pillar do each of you guys kind of resonate with the most? Like what speaks the most to you?
I'd say the service pillar resonates the most with me. Service has been a pretty big part of my life growing up. So I've always done it with my family and at my high school and even at USC. And so that's something I'm really passionate about doing. And I've gotten the chance to be service chair for Theta Tau as well. So I've gotten really involved with that. But yeah, I think service is probably the pillar that resonates the most with me. I don't want to sleep on professional though. Like, they're all pretty awesome. I have to admit, professionals really help me. And social, is great. I love them all. What can I say?
Yeah. Social was pretty big for me. Like as I've mentioned like a couple times throughout this, that building those friendships was really important. That being said, I know social. I think everybody likes social, But I've noticed that the draw for a lot of people is that professional pillar, I feel like. So I think so you get social kind of just like along with that. It's like a nice and one that people really enjoy. I don't know if you've had the same experience, Alayne.
Yeah, yeah, I have. I mean, joining Theta Tau as a freshman, I really hadn't found like my niche. Like I found friends, but I hadn't found like that one org that I was like super dedicated to, or like that would kind of show me like the ins and outs of like how to be a student at USC, or like how to just be a person in this new life. Like I started for myself because I'm not from here either, like Josh, and like coming into USC, like I knew no one, like no one from my high school, no one really from my state, who like just went to school in California, period, because I'm from Oklahoma and no one ever leaves. But I think the draw for me was honestly that like Theta Tau kind of had all three. It was really like an all-in-one kind of org, and I know like I was attracted to professional because it scared me a lot and I really didn't know how to navigate any of that. And I was like, man, I should really get that sorted out. And then like I, was always involved in like some sort of service in high school, like either tutoring or like being like a kind of service chair. So it was really nice to be able to get that opportunity again because I like didn't really know how that worked in college. And then obviously like the social aspect was fun just to like kind of expand, my network of people that I knew and meet more friends because I love meeting new people and making new friends. So for me, like I can't choose one. Like it's really and truly all three.
That was a beautiful answer.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it kind of sounds like people like to focus on like service professional, and then while you're doing that, you get to create all of these like social relationships. So it's all tied together. You can't really have one pillar without the other.
Yeah, I tell you, that day in the garden may as well would have been a social event. It was so fun.
It was.
I have a ton of videos actually from it because I got inspired and I was going to make a vlog out of it, but it's never happened. Maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe quarantine with all this extra time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that gardening experience sounds like there are very different things going on. Like Cami, you got to throw seeds around. Alayne got to hoist plywood to different parts of the garden.
Yeah, that was especially funny because I was working with Max, who I didn't super know well, like at the time. And he's generally like a very fun, like happy person. But when we were like, moving this plywood and it was kind of sketchy, and we were like, how current am I on my tetanus shots? He was like kind of like he was a little bit over it, and so was I, and that was really funny to see. And we've been pals ever since. So that was fun.
It sounds like a great organization. It sounds like you guys get to do a lot and learn a lot. I think everyone listening can agree that Theta Tau is a really great organization that will help you with basically everything, is what I'm hearing. But the last little piece I want to add in here, so it's not all like rainbows and puppies. I know not everyone can get into the organization. So do you guys have any like advice for people who might be looking to join but are a little worried that they might not make it in?
Yeah, I know. I think the best piece of advice, a huge piece of advice, and one that you'll constantly hear, so it's kind of a cliche, but it doesn't mean it's less true, is just be yourself. Be excited if you are excited about the organization, if you're excited about, being involved. I think that shines through, even if you're super nervous like I am. When I go to interviews and stuff like that, just be yourself, be excited, be outgoing, be everything that that you are, and I think that'll shine through, and people really enjoy that.
Yeah, I would say also, so important to be yourself, and in addition to that, just show up, come to our events. We really just want to meet everyone and get to know you. So talk to us and talk to as many people as you can, so we can all get to know you. I think that's my biggest advice going through the rush process. Another thing is, one of the nice things about the org is that we're so close to each other. And one of the big reasons as to why we are is because we're a relatively small org. So we don't have like hundreds and hundreds of people. Right now we have like 27 active members right now, which is actually kind of low for us, but it's because we didn't get to recruit this semester or a year ago. So, but yeah, we have a pretty small org, and that's for a reason. It's because we want to be able to be close with everyone. And so our class sizes tend to be a little small, which is why sometimes people don't really make it. And it's really nothing personal. We think everyone that comes out is amazing. That's just how it tends to be. But another thing I would say is if you guys happen to rush and you happen to don't make it, please come out again. It's nothing personal. It's just like how many people we can take in. And if you come out again, it kind of shows that you really do care and you really want to get involved. And we see that and we love that. But yeah, we just want everyone to come out and meet us. And we want to get to know everyone.
Oh, as someone who like just did this, I honest to God, like I showed up to the, rush events and everything, and I like did the best I could with my interview, and I really did not think I was going to get in, like partly because like my resume was like not the craziest, and I like had never really done like a ton of like professional style interviews, so I had really no clue what I was doing. But like I just tried, and I'm honestly like so glad that I did and just like stuck with it instead of just quitting like, I probably won't get in. Like there's 70 people like trying to, get into this org at once, and they're only going to take like 15. But I tried anyway. And so just try anyway. You might be like me and you might get in, which will be super shocking, but super fun and very special. And yeah, I was going to say like what Cami said, like if you don't get in one semester, like what everyone like kept telling all of us like during this process, they were like, honestly, like if we could take like a bigger chunk of people, like we would, but sometimes you just got to make like these weird little cuts and they don't make sense. But if you just come back next semester, like your chances are way better. And like, if you want us, like we want you, so like don't get too discouraged. We have to keep it relatively small, but that doesn't mean that you can't be a part of it still. So yeah, and just be crazy.
Well, if anyone was curious about this, I don't know. A lot of our members are actually members who are like people who we rushed. So like a good percentage of us actually like didn't necessarily get in on our first try. So there are a lot of people who are members of Theta Tau who actually rushed 2 times and got in the second time. So yeah, definitely come out again if it doesn't happen.
Thank you guys so much for sharing all your experience with Theta Tau and kind of giving insights to the ins and outs of it. If there are any final thoughts you guys would like to give out to any of the listeners?
We will likely be doing a recruitment thing next semester. We haven't, the only reason why I say likely, we're doing it, but we just don't really know yet what that's going to look like because we're waiting on more information from the university. But whenever that comes out, please show up. We really want to meet everyone and get to know everyone. And we would love it if you guys came and recruited with us. So just be on the lookout for that. We'll be at any sort of involvement fair. We'll probably be in your emails. I'm a freshman academy coach. Josh is my co-coach. So, if you're in our class, you're going to be hearing about it. If you're in another class, you're going to be hearing about it. So yeah, just come out. We really want to meet everyone.
Yeah, I would agree. And, you can't get in unless you apply. So I encourage everyone to apply, come just make friends. Honestly, that's really what it's all about, building those connections. And yeah, beyond that, just stay healthy. It's a pandemic out there,
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands, yeah.
Thank you guys again. And I think anyone listening can find you guys on Instagram. Is it at USC Theta Tau? If you don't know how to spell that, I think it's THETATAU.
We also have a Facebook page. And
plug everything.
We also have an email. We also have a website. So if you just Google USC Theta Tau, that should show up. And you can look at our different pillars and the events, and then also all of our members and alumni are in there as well.
I just got on the website because I'm like just now a new member, so go look at it. We all have a fun bio. Go meet everyone.
Cami, Josh, Alayne, thank you so much for coming again. Have a great rest of your day. And to all the listeners out there, make sure to apply next semester if you want to be part of this great organization.
Y'all better apply.
Thank you. See you there.
Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
All right, and we're back. Thanks so much, Natalie, for that episode about Theta Tau.
Yeah, it was great.
So when you went into this episode, now did you know a lot about Theta Tau, or was this something new to you?
Actually, I was pretty familiar with it. I have a friend who is in Theta Tau, and I actually went through the rushing process myself. And it was actually a pretty cool experience. I got to get a lot of insight on what Theta Tau is.
Did you learn anything new about them?
You know, I think it just kind of solidified what I already knew, that they're a really tight-knit group of people, just really focusing on helping each other, bring themselves up professionally, and just making those connections at USC.
What is your favorite thing that they do?
I would say my favorite thing they do is they mentioned that they have these interviews that they do, which is like one-on-one sessions with everyone in the society. So it's kind of required, but it's a good way to kind of go away from the cliques. It gets you familiar with everyone. I think that's a really smart thing that they do. It really solidifies the friendships in the group.
All right, very cool. Well, I think that's all of us today. Audrey, do you have any other updates that you need to update people on?
No updates from us on my end.
None from me either, unless you haven't applied yet. Make sure you get that application in. December 1st is the deadline, so don't forget about that. Other than that, we'll look forward to seeing you on this next episode. Bye, y'all.